like to acknowledge that we meet on the land of the Kaurna people, to acknowledge the groundbreaking settlement that has been reached in relation to their relationship with this land, recognised in the Federal Court recently, and to pay my respects to their elders past and present. I'd like to also acknowledge the presence tonight of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of South Australia, Chris Kourakis, who's patron of the Australian Migrant Resource Centre, Mr Douglas Gaultier, AM, the Chief Executive Officer and Artistic Director of the Adelaide Festival Centre, Mr Hussein Raziat from the Middle Eastern Communities Council of South Australia, who will speak later, Adjunct Professor Andrew Hill, the Director of In Our Own Voices, Mr Christopher Naylor, the Programming Executive of the Adelaide Festival Centre, the Honourable Robin Layton, AO, the Adjunct Professor of the School of Law, the University of South Australia, and also a patron of the Australian Migrant Resource Centre, and to acknowledge the apology of Ms Rachel Sanderson, MP, the successful member for Adelaide. I'd also like to acknowledge Ms Eugenia Tsoulis, OAM, the CEO of the Australian Migrant Resource Centre, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. To introduce Mr Douglas Gaultier. Would you welcome him, please?
Thank you, Ralph. Friends, it's great to see you here, and again, just let me reiterate how important it is for us at the Centre to be involved with these organisations and with you over many years. Some of the great things that we have done together. I think we've always taken the view that in terms of cultural activities, multicultural activities should be to the fore. It's great to see that the new Premier has decided to take arts and multicultural portfolios, maybe not put them together, but certainly recognise the importance of those two areas.
It is an honour to welcome all of your friends on behalf of the In Our Voice project to this exhibition, book launch and also concert. I am pleased that this project come to this stage. Large numbers of volunteers being part of this project. It was a very productive, pleasant and cooperative work amongst the Middle Eastern Communities Council, Australian Migrant Resource Centre and Adelaide Festival Centre, and of course a great support of South Australian Government. A large number of community organisations from Iran, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Lebanon, and many other countries in the Middle Eastern communities been engaged in this project. Whether they are good employees, doctors, engineers, nurses, and they are contributing to this great community. We are aiming to say Australia is a land of opportunity.
When someone says, as Tariq Beden did, after Saddam had killed 3 members of my family, and then continues on without a pause, you try to imagine how that fact can possibly be processed so quickly, and how each of those separate deaths must have struck the people closest to the victims. And then globally, how many individual acts must have been perpetrated to give the 45 million refugees currently displaced. Throughout the In Our Own Voices project, I discovered countless reasons for reflection on how we think about and treat people with a refugee background, and how that a collaborative, jointly enriching process it could be. There are many clues in people's stories, and I hope those of you reading the book will find them enlightening. So thank you, everybody.
And finally, the book gives the Australians who have come here as migrants from other parts a political voice. And again, I repeat Hussein's comment in the book that Australia should separate these two stories and see asylum seekers as a universal humanitarian issue, not as a political or security issue. I congratulate the steering committee, Hussein Razayat, Eugenia Solis, Andrew Hill, Keith Preston, Taril Beeden, Vahid Mansouri, Anna Amirkanyan, Uzra Karimi for their appreciation of the importance of this project, for their guiding vision, their hard work and commitment to seeing it implemented. I congratulate Andrew Hill for the sensitivity with which he conducted the interviews, for the many hours of work that must have been put into producing them in final form, for his great editing of the book and his magnificent photography, which is on display around us today. Ultimately, this book, in all its production, is of the highest quality. I thank everyone else who contributed, as Andrew has told us, in many ways to the publication of this book. And without anything further, I launch In Our Own Voices.
Eugenia, Andrew, Keith, Matty, Hussein, all the communities, all the wonderful performers. 15 years ago, we started with an exhibition. Now, 15 years later, we have an exhibition of real people, which is stunning. It jumps off the walls. Their stories jump off the walls as well. There is also a book of these people's stories, and tonight you will see the performance, including these people, their stories, and music and dance across the Middle East. And I have just three things to say to you all. Be proud, be loud, and be creative. Thank you.
This project a success. It's ongoing. This is the first part of it. I understand during Refugee Week the Adelaide City Council will have banners of some of the portraits in King William Street, and I also understand the book will go to the UNHCR conference in Sydney next month, and I also understand we will be touring the exhibition and ensuring the book gets a huge circulation. SBS has or will be interviewing some of the participants as well. Thank you to all of you for coming, and I'd particularly like to thank some of my staff, Keith Preston, for the coordination of particularly the performance and making sure Andrew gets to houses on time. And Matty, I have a little gift cookie, so I'm wondering where, if it's sorry. Anyway, we'll give that to them later. And Matty, who's a fantastic events coordinator, making sure the logistics behind the scenes. Alma, who's been marketing the project, and also Sunshine, who's done a lot of the logistics work. And thank you all, and thank you friends and dignitaries for coming and sharing this day with us. Thank you.